What's up, guys? It's Jeff, and this is One Take Sunday. This is where we start at the back of the store, work our way up to the front of the store, talk about some of the stuff that's happened this week and what we hope will happen next week. So back here, this is right where we left off yesterday. Actually, we did a little video on the quarantine systems. So we went through and did a bunch of dosing of bacteria in the freshwater systems last night before we left. I have some of these I'm going to be installing in the quarantine tanks, these badges, ammonia badges. Been rifling through this stuff the last couple of days. I really need to work through it and put some stuff together because a lot of this is stuff from home, but it's also stuff to build RO systems. We're going to be doing that here. So got some filter socks in there as well, but quite a few people have been asking for parts, which is unusual, but I guess that's the benefit of a local fish store. But I've had to dig through there a couple times and kind of put my pants down, put a price together. That's not what I did. My pants were up, but got caught off guard a little bit and had to figure some stuff out on the fly, so we're trying to work through that, get that stuff added to the system. But yeah, looking pretty good back here outside, being messy. But that's kind of been the running thing back here, is it's been a little bit of a slog fest, but I guess back rooms will kind of do that. Nothing really to talk about over here. I need to check on them Copa pods, see how they're doing. Add a little bit of phytoplankton. That is a stand to the aquarium that we sold yesterday. So they just wanted the aquarium, and I gave them a deal on the tank. This guy's like the design on this, man. They have the feet. That was nice. They have the feet so they stick out. That's where they're designed to go, but when you shut it, it like fights the door. You gotta kind of lift up on the bottom there to get it to shut. I might have to play with the hinges a little bit, see what's going on there, but I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to buy a BioCube. I'm going to figure out which one can go on there and then see if I can sell that as a package deal. But hopefully we can sell that. I didn't want the oak. I wanted black, but they sent the oak. Storage closet, packed. Office, kind of a mess. We'll take a look. We'll see what's going on in the office. What kind of mess we got going on. Look at that. That's when you know you're working. In and out. That's what we do. We need to record the podcast a little bit later today. I need a table back here so I can kind of not have, this is not a way to have paperwork. Just saying. We got to get this set up the way that I want it. I would like to have that couch out, flipped around, and then a TV there, but eventually what we're going to be doing is having classes back here for hobbyists, and we're probably going to do that raffle form. We'll buy a bunch of these chairs here and have about 10 chairs, and then big TV so we can do presentations and all that kind of stuff. But this is kind of a catch-all, a little bit of a mess right now. I got some stuff that needs to get worked into the system. We got a bunch of DI resin, and then I ordered some, thought I didn't have it. A gentleman asked for some silicate removing media. Had some, ordered it, but I lucked out because it's two different stuff. This is the regular stuff, and that's high capacity, so not exactly the same. But I want to check out the price from the vendors because these are two different vendors, and I'm wondering how they compare. But we got some stuff here that needs to get moved up front. Hopefully we can figure out a way to get this to work with the aquatic life light. And this is kind of when it's clean. I have my laptop set up, printer. We basically collect whatever we need for shipment, like I did mystery Reef box. Here we do have a box that needs to go out right there from an order yesterday. We got boxes on the front, or bottom. We got t-shirts over here. I went and picked out a new t-shirt for myself today. Kind of a collection going already of styrofoam containers. I don't want to get too crazy with that. I don't want to be a hoarder. And we got different size boxes. This will kind of develop within time, but eventually what I want to have is a computer that just sits here, and all it is just made for or used for shipping. We process our orders, we use our cart. I'd like to get another one of these, basically run out to the store and then grab whatever we need and then bring it back. I got some of these the coral viewers, so I don't have to constantly shut off the flow to the tank. And then we also got some auto top off, which these might be spoken for already. So let's move up front and see what we got going on. Cash wrap, t-shirts. T-shirts are available online if you can't make it in. I think they're $19.99. We also got some safety stop and some coral lights. We got some small ChemiPure stuff going on. Also got magnets running out of these guys, and we got some buttons in as well. And we do have a couple t-shirts left. Not exactly sure. I'm sorry, not t-shirts, sweatshirts. Not exactly sure what sizes that we got left, but those seem to be pretty popular. They're actually more popular than the t-shirts, which is kind of crazy. RO system doing well. We got a pump in there moving water around for the salt. This has been the big surprise of the shop. The amount of water that I'm selling is pretty impressive. I had a bunch of jugs down here. Those are slowly getting picked off. People buying water. That's been pretty much I think when you look at my analytics on the store, this is the most frequently sold, because I do it per gallon, item. In comparison, I think the next is the corals, but very surprised as to how much water I'm selling. We do have a couple more items that we need to add that have been kind of left behind. Some ME Coral GFO and some carbon. F. aptasia as well. This is where the nets kind of dry out in between fish catching and other types of maintenance. Fish are doing all right. They kind of settled down quite a bit. Some of these tanks that are empty are cycled, so I got to do an order, but I'm kind of waiting. I was kind of hoping those tanks out back would get cycled, so I didn't really do like a small order. So I think it cost me about $60 to get a box shipped to me, and I got quite a few tanks that are empty right now, so working through that. Frozen foods doing all right. Not as big of a seller as I thought it would be. I want to get some different stuff in here too. I got the Hakiri and the Ocean Nutrition. I want to do some Rod's Food and Coral Frenzy down the road. We also got some Italian Ice and some Minute Maid dollar store frozen lemonade. Somebody's gonna want that. Probably ought to pull that out of there. These guys, I'm gonna test them again today, but they were showing, or at least this system, which is the newer system, completely cycled. A little frustrated with that. Then the system that has hermit crabs and snails has kind of went through a second recycle, which it's coming down off from that. We talked about that in yesterday's video. But I threw bacteria in both of them last night, kind of hoping that we'll push it over the top and get those cycled and be able to get some fish in here. Got a call from an individual, and this is going to be, let me spin her around. I got a call from an individual, and I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to handle this kind of going forward. But there seems to be a lot of folks that are offloading or wanting to offload stuff. And I know that's kind of part of the responsibility of a local fish store, but the issue that I'm finding in these circumstances is that folks want basically what they paid for their clownfish or their whatever fish that they bought. They bought a fish for $80, they want $80 for it. The problem with that is, from the fish store standpoint, I could buy the fish tremendously cheaper than if I just went to a vendor where I know the situation of where the fish is coming from. So I need to kind of figure out, and just, it's straight across the board, a way of figuring that out. If you guys got any thoughts, or maybe your fish store does something that's awesome, leave a comment down below. I'm gonna have a hard time, me personally, even though that I know that there's a situation that that fish could end up in a not good situation, and need to figure out a way to get that fish in here, and it works out for them, works out for me. But I want to hear from you guys. Leave a comment down below as to what your local fish store does. But haven't even looked at the coral tanks yet today. That bird's nest is not looking good. It's a bummer. That's the one that got stuck in shipment, but everything else is looking pretty solid. Pretty solid. We're gonna do some new orders, or put some orders in tomorrow. Tomorrow's our closed day. I'll be here working anyways, but we're gonna get some new stuff in here for next week. What I'd like to do is, I'm not gonna move anything out of here. I'm gonna leave it as is. I'll probably take this tray, because outside of just a few things, that tray is predominantly should be in the $25 section, but we'll probably take that tray, move it over to the other tank. But I'll be putting a new order in, or orders in, tomorrow for the entire week. So I'll plan my week out. I'm gonna try to get it so I have a shipment, at least the first 3 days of the week, so we can get some new stuff in here, and see if we can get any cool items. Mushrooms have been the big seller. Mushrooms, Recordias, and zoanthids were the big sellers this week. We might try to get some more of that stuff in. So we got these two systems. I got some more of that, the $25 stuff that needs moved into this bin to fill this out a little bit more. A lot of that bin is ask, so we got to figure, I want the ask stuff to go down to this system, and I want this one to be kind of a little bit more structured, $10, $20, $40, $60, $80. And then if people have questions about stuff, about the corals that they're asking for, this would be the area to do it. Some of these guys were really not doing well. That hammer is in really rough shape. It's been in rough shape the entire time. It didn't really, I should have basically put it in for a credit, but I didn't. That little guy right there broke off from another colony. Thought that guy was dead, and I threw him down there with the mushroom rocks that basically melted. This came on that 2-day shipment deal, but that guy turned up. Thought it was dead, threw it over here, and then all of a sudden I walked by and little hammers poking out, so I was like, whoa! So I put them up on the rack. But this has been, kind of my project this week. I'm getting it set up, ready to go. Got some floaters here for some anemones, maybe we're gonna do some anemones. Well, I don't know, figure that out. Dry goods moving a little bit slower than I thought they would, which is not great because that's where I put the most of my money. But yeah, the good thing about dry goods, for the most part, with the exception of some foods, and also bacteria, most of it, is going to last a pretty long time, so don't really have to worry about it going bad. But I'm expecting, we're probably not going to do, I would like to get some Tonga branch in, but I think I'm going to hit the pause button on the rock. We got the skimmer in there. Pretty cloudy stuff that's in there right now. I don't really have this tuned in where it should be, but we'll dial that in this week, and then I need to get some power heads to keep that surface. Oh, I got my alarm going, so I set an alarm for every day. Gives me 10 minutes before the shop opens up, but last thing I wanted to talk about was this tank right here and the seeded live rock. So obviously the only time that I'm really going to sell seeded live rock is when it is a person setting up a new tank, which doesn't happen all the time. And as far as the store is concerned, this is a lot of real estate, a lot of stuff going on in here. So what I'm thinking at this point in time is if we have, you know, no more than 1 or 2 sales between now and, let's say, August in here, if sales don't pick up, I'm going to take all the rock out of here. I will set up another live rock bin. Maybe we'll do something in this area or some of these open spots that we have, or maybe just under the window. I don't know, but we'll set up a livestock tank, kind of like the rubber versions of these, fill it up with water, get the skimmer in there, do that whole deal, and go that route, and then convert this to another coral tank or invert tank, and we'll put a platform down there, we'll drill it out, we'll get a sump for it, and maybe this will be like our high-end acro system or something, but we'll see, because corals are definitely, outside of water, have been one of the bigger sellers. Obviously, if you have a store that's named, or the first word in the name is corals, you're going to draw a little bit more coral attention. Than it's not like it's the seeded man-made rock store unlimited, it's corals unlimited. So we'll see how that turns out, but ultimately we'll see and make a decision based off from what actually is transpiring as far as sales go. But folks, that's going to do it for One Take Sunday. I got about 8 minutes before I got to open up the store. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'll try to get this uploaded as soon as I can. Hopefully, if I got a little bit of a window, we'll throw it up there and get it up there for you guys. Tomorrow, we're closed, but I'm going to be in the shop doing stuff and placing some orders and potentially moving some tanks in. We'll see about making a video about something here today or tomorrow. That's gonna do it for it. I was doing so good until the end. That's gonna do it for today. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this one. And I'll see you tomorrow right here for a brand new video. Peace.